A lot of stuff happened with Apple. We did a little recap episode. You remember that, Will? It was we did it live.
Oh, that thing? Yeah.
We did it live. We can actually go live.
Yes.
So just keep an eye out. We might come at you with the live notifier in the future. It's quite possible. I mean, maybe even just a regular show. We might just be like, you know what? Today we do it live.
Yeah. We have no shame.
You guys, I don't know why you gotta be shameful about it. I mean, live can be dynamic.
We can do whatever we want.
He's got no shame, ladies and gentlemen. We got Kirk back on the show today, and he's been loving all the feedback. He's been reading every single comment. And what's your favorite comment so far, Kirk?
My favorite comment was the one that said "Get Vin on the show."
No.
And then Vin came on the show.
No.
That was my favorite.
No. There was one that was like,
that video is a beauty.
there was a comment that was like, you know, Kirk is a dream come true.
I don't believe that at all.
No, I don't believe it either, but I just want to get you going a little bit. Anyway,
I'm
Kirk's
going.
back. He's got something to say because he missed yesterday, and so he missed all the news as far as Apple's concerned. And of course, we have some new elements as far as Apple's concerned because they did put out so many new things. But we got this piece of news first, which is this crazy, weird story about this ransomware attack, hack, and subsequent leak. So this group responsible is attempting the hacker group called Revil or Revil, because evil is in the name, is currently in the process of blackmailing Apple supplier Quanta for about $50 million. Ooh. $50 million ransom. Try to figure out how they come up with these numbers. I mean, is that
R evil or Revil?
Whatever you like. Don't call them out here.
Oh yeah,
It's just $50 million.
Right.
What are we gonna do here?
That's
We're
right.
going to get hacked, bud.
The group claims to have thousands of leaked files that include information about upcoming Apple products. And this is the big one. Because I guess in order to prove that they're the real deal, they start releasing information. And they start to put a little pressure.
Yeah.
Kirk is in need of pressure. Did you know that?
Pressure? What? Why?
Because of the drain.
We talked about it earlier.
He's got the standing water in the drain.
The 1 second plumber.
Yeah.
I need it.
Yeah.
So he got to call up
Some
Revil.
problems.
Revil. He needs some pressure.
Apply the pressure. Now you call them out. I'm gonna get ransomware hacked.
Well, you should, because you better take care of that drain.
They're gonna ransom me for all my intel.
So in order to prove they're the real deal, they put these documents out. And look at that, Willie do. That's a 14-inch. That's a 16-inch MacBook Pro.
That's legit. Well,
Look
actually,
at
it
these
looks like
drawings. And you know how it is with Apple. See how they put the watermark, by the way? The evil, Revil, R evil.
Wow.
They put the watermark on. You know how it is with Apple. Secrets for days. You don't talk about. Now I know everything leaks, but it always leaks in a kind of, not necessarily the most believable way. Like it's still at least a little bit up in the air. But when you got the drawings and you're on the inside looking out, and you got those documents, you know Tim ain't happy about it.
Yeah. Do you think that they're going to pay?
Well, first of all, it's not Apple directly. It's an Apple supplier by the name of Quanta. Quanta, I'm just reflecting here, Quanta responsible for the laptop specifically. So it's only the laptop area that's going to be in question here. I believe maybe they do the iMac as well.
That's how you spell it.
And I presume they're going to be having a little conversation with Apple. Maybe it's going to be over FaceTime or something like that. And they're going to have a discussion about this $50 million. Now, these ransom situations have actually worked in the past. I mean, we covered the story that Kirk was intimately involved in.
Yeah, I was gonna say that worked out for those hackers.
Oh, well, that's a weird way to put it.
Didn't they get paid?
They got paid.
Yeah.
Because in many cases for these companies, they got no choice. The customers are not getting the service. They're getting bombarded with customer service stuff. They can't get access back to their own database. And the thing is saying, if we rebuild this whole thing, it's going to cost us more than the ransom. And actually, when I said to you earlier about the $50 million, they know, these groups are smart enough to know roughly what it will cost if you want to get us out. Mm-hmm. You want to get rid of us. And we're gonna price it in such a fashion that we believe alternative means of dealing with this are going to be more costly. I listened to a podcast on the thing. I mean, how many people say, "Oh, I listened to a podcast on that"? I don't know what it was, A16Z or something like this, about the growing ransomware marketplace that's out here.
Well, look at this. They have the leak with the watermark, like you said on it. That's marketing. That's ransomware hacker group marketing.
Absolutely.
Right.
Taking responsibility
And
for
by
it.
the way, in the places that they do business, where they happen to be located, often there isn't a big push to police what they're up to. Because like you see, they're interacting with a company foreign to where they're normally launching. Like a lot of them were in Russia and other places over there. And the local authorities are not really looking at that. So
Yeah, they don't care.
anyway, let's get back to the actual hardware. So this MacBook Pro leak and images, obviously, as you can see, show more ports, ladies and gentlemen. And so even though Apple's probably not too happy about this, other people might be celebrating such a thing. We have new I/O for the MacBook Pro 14, two different part numbers, presumably the 14 and the 16, showcasing HDMI, SD card slot, and MagSafe magnetic charging.
Wow, that's a left turn.
They just like they did with the keyboard. They go old in order to go new.
They go back in time.
They go back to the future.
Wait,
They do.
no, they're just going back to the past.
No.
It's to the future. Well, I guess it is
because it becomes their futuristic product.
I got you. I got you.
You go back to the future.
You gotta whisper it like that. Jeez.
Why you say it so gross?
They go back to the future. Yeah, they do. You listen here.
I think the future has more ports. I think that's the future.
Revil is threatening to release more documents every day that Quanta doesn't agree to pay up. And so far, the leaks don't include anything as significant as product imagery or design schematics. Well, actually, I think that was written at the time before the drawings came out, because this is an updated article. So they are putting those out. And I don't know how much Quanta is how Apple feels about Quanta. Does Apple feel that Quanta as a supplier has failed them in some way by not having the necessary? Often the way these things work is we'll start through some form of social engineering. It would be somebody at the company who, in a very low-tech way, somebody reached out, claimed to work for the company, say, I'm a contractor, I need this password for this thing, I got to actually get in there and get access. And they just find one weak point. These companies have tremendous number of employees. So sometimes there's really not much you could do about it, but you wonder about what Apple's advice is going to be on this. Could they possibly lose these contracts in the future?
I think they have to stand a chance to lose them. I mean, Apple has to be a little bit shook about the fact that Quanta's a target here.
Well, for sure. But it's just a question of how Apple perceives their responsibility in this. Because it's like we've said, this ransomware stuff is happening to all kinds of companies at the moment.
Yeah.
And but as far as paying the ransom, it's a really weird situation where every time you pay them, you incentivize you incentivize the future of the similar thing happening.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's interesting information nonetheless for the tech enthusiasts that have been waiting for a more pro MacBook, in the sense that it has a little bit of versatility with the ports. SD card, everybody has been screaming about for a really long time. MagSafe is just fun and functional. And so that's cool to see that come back. I'm sure we're still going to have our Thunderbolt stuff, so no worries, no concerns over there. And a full-size HDMI.
I'm in favor. I love all that.
These are things that we all would love to see.
Yep.
And they're happening, and regardless of how the information became available to us.
Can I ask you, if you are in charge of the situation, you're working for Quanta, you're the guy with in the big chair, do you pay it?
Again, maybe I said this to you off air, or no, I don't remember. Maybe I said it just a few seconds ago, they're going to be doing the math right now. They're going to be talking to their accountants.
Yeah.
And it's all going to depend on where that number lives and whether or not it's actually economically feasible to go any other way.
What's your other course of action though? Like, what can they do?
Hitman.
Oh, well, what they can do, what they can do is just say, okay, you got what you got. And going forward, we're going to build something new, a whole new database and system, security protocol. We're just going to start from scratch. You got what you got. And that's the other option. So all these factors, all these unknowns make it very difficult to answer that question, but they're doing the math right now. And if I were in that position, I'd be doing the math as well.
Yeah.
This one, did you see the new iMac, Kirk?
Yeah.
Okay, it's very thin. It's very slim. Everything is M1.
Yeah.
Your entire life is M1. You are now M1. You will have an M1 iMac. You will have an M1 iPad Pro. You will have an M1 MacBook Pro.
Does that mean I'm better and faster and stronger?
That's right.
Wow. I'm down.
I asked this question of Will yesterday, which color he would choose out of that bunch, that selection right there. He said blue. I didn't really believe him.
Which one's the blue one again?
Second from the right?
Yeah, there you go.
This one?
Yeah. Kirk, what do you go for? No lies.
You know me, I would go purple.
Purple.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Purpley violet thing.
But I would like to meet the person who goes yellow because that's crazy.
That's the real person.
You know, the first thing I thought about when I saw these was, you know, they're gonna be in like the health food stores at the cash out
Yeah.
to get your bowls. You know, they're gonna have these.
They're so unobtrusive. Like there's a real practical reason for it. I know they're stylish with all the colors and things, but it's also, I mean, I said this yesterday, it's an iPad on a stick.
Yeah.
And you go to these stores that you're talking about, and they already put an iPad on a stick.
Yeah, yeah.
That's how they deal with
have
it.
like 5 other phones
That
on
actually,
block.
that begs the question though, and of course I know Apple would never do this, but how much more functional it would be for a lot of those companies if this was touchscreen as well.
Oh, I figured that they had worked touch. Like you said, I'm out of the loop. I missed it yesterday, but I figured as soon as I saw it that it had touch.
No.
They kept touch out.
Yeah, because touch is iOS.
Right.
No
right.
touch Mac OS. But anyway, it'll still be used the way that you're suggesting regardless with a trackpad or mouse.
What do you think of the bezel?
Yeah, the
Any
chin.
thoughts on it?
Well, the interesting part is that they got rid of the Apple logo. There used to be an Apple logo in the center part of the chin. I'm fine with getting rid of it. You have a huge one on the back. I don't have to stare at it all the time.
But would you want the chin, or do you know?
I presume that the chin must be in.
Yeah.
The chin must be in. Yeah, I presume it's some heat-related thing. They can't.
Oh.
That's probably where all your heat is, or at least a lot of it. And also the speakers.
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of complications there are there as far as putting them behind a display. So, I mean, they do it with an iPad. So
Yeah.
it must be, you would think it would be possible from an engineering standpoint.
You don't want the speakers to fire out the sides if it's a desktop situation. You want them coming right at you.
Yeah, so I guess they fire down on an angle. I don't know what they're doing. Probably off the table. So it could have been an audio decision. I'm sure there's a reason for it. I'm sure that if they didn't have to have it, they wouldn't. But same time, they put all these colors out there, and you spend most of your time looking at the front of it.
Yeah. I noticed that a lot of people put the sticky notes here.
Oh, yeah.
And that's like,
yeah.
I was like, that's a pretty good use
Wow.
for it.
That's the
But
classic
obviously,
move.
there's
Yeah.
more.
You're talking about
engineering.
actual physical sticky
Yeah.
notes, not the ones on the,
Yeah.
because you can make a sticky note obviously in Mac OS as well.
Yeah.
You're right. Every time I've seen someone with an iMac
It's
in
always
their
down
home,
here.
yeah, with the sticky notes, yeah.
All right, so the other key thing that some people have mentioned and talked about is the headphone jack. One of the few. How about the headphone jack hanging in there? It almost like you see it on the side there, and you're like, wow. It's definitely an endangered species, right?
Yeah.
On devices, it seems antiquated to see it there, but you do. I mean, I use headphones. We all do all the time. You need to have it, but it's funny, this old analog port that we still got over there. I mean, does Apple even sell a product that uses that port like natively? No, all their headphones are wireless now. All of Apple's headphone products are wireless. You can get an adapter cable for the Max, the AirPods Max, but not many people who use them are going to be purchasing that. But I do think you need to have it on a computer because of the variety of headsets that people are going to need to plug in. I mean, everybody's had that experience in an emergency. I just got to get a headset into it. On the back, you have a number of Thunderbolt ports, obviously.
Yeah, that's the worst when you don't have the headset connected and you're trying to do anything like video call or game or something like that, and you're fumbling around. And
Or
it's a time crunch.
Bluetooth headset is dead, or all these things.
It's true.
But anyway, actually, Mark has had an interesting little note here. Fun fact: the new iMac is so thin that it can't fit a headphone jack on the back, which is the reason it's on the side. Although I think it's probably more useful on the side regardless than the back, because you're sitting in front of it. So it's easier to reach and see on the side, but it will look odd to have the connector sticking out. The iMac is 11.5 millimeters thin, and a headphone jack that would need to be installed in the device is typically around 14 millimeters deep. So they had to put it on the side.
Man, when you just look at the iMac throughout the years, it is insane that they ended up with this paper thin device.
And all the things that had to happen from a technological standpoint to get here.
Yeah.
Because even if the designers back then had that vision, you couldn't do it. It wasn't feasible from a hardware standpoint. And all the things that had to happen, like the investment in silicon, figuring out the M1 thing, power consumption, display technologies have changed. The necessary connections for peripherals, and like everything had to change in tandem to get us to the point that we're at right now. But it is easy to imagine now that the current generation iMac is pretty close to anything you could imagine for a desktop. How does it get what happens at this point?
Yeah.
Has it reached its final form? Until we're done with screens altogether? What more happens? Because can you shave a millimeter? How significant is that at this point?
Yeah.
This thing is about as small as you can imagine it.
Yeah, until we get to hologram or projection interaction with UI, this is probably the final form. I mean, I say that, and now they're gonna.
Well, I mean, they could minus the chin.
Yeah.
They could minus the chin. That would be the next step here to figure out how to get rid of that. All right, so you're a big fan of purple, Kirk. Well, I'll have you know that you can already download the new purple iPhone 12 wallpaper for your device right now. You can live that purple lifestyle even though the phone doesn't exist yet. It was a very uncharacteristic thing. Apple just put out another color for the iPhone 12. I mean, there's nothing new about it. They just got everybody jazzed up. They're all about colors. They made such a big deal about colors for the iMacs, and so they did this purple iPhone at a seemingly weird time.
But it's not it's about halfway on the cycle.
It's a halfway, something like that. Yeah, I guess maybe people who were holding out they're like, I'll pull the trigger now because there's a new color. And when people see my purple, we got a purple flame in the back today.
Yeah.
It's very similar purple. Anyway.
Well, I mean, look at the old earpods. When the iPod came out, colors really matter to people. The white headphones meant something to a certain type of person. Right?
There's a huge personalization aspect right now. And so I'm sure they did the math on this. They're like, look, we can boost sales by whatever number. We just need a new color. Well, what color don't we have? Oh, purple. We should have more purple. Yeah. Okay, cool. Boom, purple. Done. Anyway, you can't get it yet.
You can't get it? Oh, the purple iPhone. But the wallpaper you can get.
Yeah. No. No, you're right.
The purple iPhone, all the stuff they talked about actually at the event. I don't think there's a single thing you can order right now. You have to wait till the end of April, and then stuff comes mid-May.
Where can you download this?
But you can that's it right there. That's right here? Yeah, that's the full res. Yep, you got no. Right, what you're looking at. That's the full res. Yeah, just click on it. Yeah, there you go. You can go ahead and try out purple on your iPhone or any device for that matter. See if it's for you. See if you're into it. Oneplus has teased gaming triggers that will clip onto your phone. Obviously, we've seen, Kirk, you've intimately seen so many gaming phones recently.
Yep.
It's obviously a market. There is a market here, and people are increasingly spending a lot of gaming hours on their devices. And I mean, even outside of gaming phones, people want to see, like, one of the main reasons you want to have a powerful phone right now is for gaming, or a phone that's capable as far as cooling is concerned, or the reason you want a big battery, like all these factors. And OnePlus doesn't specifically have a gaming phone. Of course, you can game on their devices. They have capable devices. But rather than go the route of doing a complete from the ground up gaming phone under the brand name, it looks like they're going to reach to peripherals to kind of achieve a similar experience.
Okay.
Maybe even better, depending on the individual. Maybe somebody doesn't want a fully gamed out phone, but wants to clip these on when they're in that type of mood. So these, according to the CEO, Pete Lau, he says that these provide shoulder buttons for smartphones suitable for first-person shooters like PUBG or racing games or fighting games. And here's his quote: "We designed the OnePlus gaming triggers to be solid, responsive, and pleasingly clicky. And yes, beautiful. We also made sure they work with many other phones because the best product design is one that leaves you free to make your own choices."
Wow.
The OnePlus gaming triggers are available now on the company's India website for $15 USD.
Wow.
And the gaming triggers use Omron switches to provide users with tactile feedback.
Oh, I like that.
An actual clicky switch.
I'm a big clicky switch guy.
Not a haptic.
Yeah, yeah.
So my question is, how secure are they on the device? Because a click is nice, but only if it's tight on the frame of the device. If it shifts at all on the frame of the device, it could eliminate the pleasing element of the click that we're talking about. Though it looks like it has some rubber on the inside. I'm guessing it's going to grip.
I don't... Tell me you don't know this or if it's not released, but how does it actually work? You're not plugging it into your phone at all. You're just clipping it on, and then you're clicking the switch, and the switch, is that actuating a physical press on the screen?
It sure looks like it, the way that it clips on there.
Or is it Bluetooth? Or?
But I presume, for $15, I don't think you have any Bluetooth in there. I presume what you're going to do is just in-game map your buttons to the location living directly under. So what you end up with is you got your crosshairs button to look in the scope, and then you got your trigger button.
Yeah, I really like this setup because, I mean, we see a lot of the gaming phones, like the ROG phone and the Legion phone that we just did as well. And they're a bit aggressive, and I don't know if you want to carry around that power everywhere
all the time.
You go. Yeah. Like I like a small phone. I think you guys both like a smaller device. I think this is probably the better way for a gamer. Like, I like to game. I will throw those on. I'll carry those around. You know?
Yeah, and $15.
It's
$15 is key. Now, I'll just give you the problem here, though, that as of right now, they're only showing in stock in India. So I'm sure we can reach out and probably get them to send us some, which we probably should do.
Yeah.
Take a peek ourselves. But I don't know if there's plans to launch them outside of India and into other markets like North America, Europe, and so forth. And if they do, they may come at a different price. You can see the MRP there listed. Right. About 500 rupees higher. So I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But it is interesting to see, the different approach to managing the gaming enthusiasm that's out there. Amazon is launching its One Palm scanning payments in Whole Foods in the Seattle area.
What?
And this is actually more sophisticated than it might appear at first when you first see it. So obviously the appeal here, you don't touch anything. So it's not like a fingerprint scanner. You just hold your palm above the scanner.
Oh, okay.
Just like the person in the image here. Because everybody's all not wanting to touch anything right now.
Yeah.
Even when it comes to like tapping a screen.
Tapping the card or the credit card or your phone to pay is also kind of...
The paranoia is on an all-time high.
Yeah.
People are barely tapping and,
Yeah.
So it's the right time for a product, for something like this. Now, the palm, the reason I say it's more sophisticated than you think, it not only reads the texture on your palm, it's also able to predict your future.
In that screen, it tells you.
You got me with that one. I was fully along for the ride on that one. That was a good one. The kudos on that one.
In reality, It goes beyond the surface level of your skin and is capable of reading into your own unique vein pattern, which adds another layer of security to it, because apparently when you combine that with the variety of ridges and textures and things, you are very unique, Willie Doo.
Am I?
I'll tell you what.
Okay.
I know it's hard to believe, but don't remember when you did the Apple card drawing?
Mm-hmm.
I think that proves a point right there. Mm-hmm. Now, believe it or not, Amazon has already been working with this stuff in the Amazon Go store and Amazon Books, but Whole Foods rollout makes this a much bigger deal. There are many Whole Foods out there. Obviously, I guess Amazon acquired Whole Foods a while back, and they're starting with this one location in their hometown in Seattle. But I think obviously the privacy types are going to be a bit freaked out giving the biometric information to Amazon. But as we've seen take place all over the place, humans are constantly trading convenience for privacy. We're doing the transaction. As I'm going through the store and I'm scrambling and I'm jumbling and I just hold my hand and it's game over. That's tough when it comes to convenience.
I'll take that. I had just a couple hours ago at the T&T. I forgot my wallet in the car. I tried to do my phone. It didn't go. So I had to run out, and there's a lineup, and I have to come back in. It's a very awkward situation. If I could just attribute a credit card or some sort of payment system to my skin, that's nuts.
No more wallets.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
No more wallets.
I've only been using the cell phone tap to pay thing for like a year or two, and we're already past it onto
biometrics. So you're not at all concerned about who owns your biometric data?
No. Yeah, I am.
No, yeah,
I am
maybe.
concerned about that.
Is Jeff on your list?
Yeah, he's up there. He's got to be like number 2.
He's number 2.
Yeah, number 2 for me. Most concerned about my biometric data.
Who's number 1?
Zuck. Yeah, of course. Yeah. Zuck. He's gonna smoke my meats if he gets that, man.
Yeah, that's probably true. What'd you get at TNT, by the way?
Oh, TNT. I got some Pocky.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you get any produce or no?
No, but man, it is.
I thought you might go for some of those.
The produce is flourishing.
I know. I thought you might go for some of those rocket apples or something like that.
Oh, I should have. That wasn't my mission. I was there on a mission, and Pocky was kind of beside.
Did you try them?
No, I didn't.
It's a tiny apple.
Is it?
Yeah, it's tiny.
I'm gonna go get some tomorrow.
Give it a shot.
I mean, it's a premium.
I'll grab some for tomorrow.
It's a premium, but it's an experience.
We'll try them.
And has a real pop to it, which is what I look for in an apple.
What's a pop?
Like you take a bite
in the mouth?
Absolutely. So if this goes well for Amazon in Seattle, you're going to see this roll out everywhere. Biometric data, it all goes to Jeff. The writing is on the wall. Your future is already predicted. We're all doomed, but you got your stuff really quick.
I would have thought it would have been an eyeball. What do you think is weirder, the hand or the eyeball?
The eyeball. People are not happy. People are scared of the eyeball. The eyeball works. Yeah, you can do the eyeball. People are scared of the eyeball. So
I guess you don't want to be eyeball.
You don't want to hold your face up to a thing.
Yeah.
Right?
It's too intrusive.
Because you got your face there.
Yeah.
And your face has a nose and a mouth.
A couple of holes, yeah.
So, okay, first of all, you guys thought we were sitting here talking about this Amazon store, and you're like, whoa, Amazon.
Yeah.
That's what Will did, at least.
I saw it.
Yeah. It was a good time.
But this next Amazon story is actually going to surprise you even more.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, click on it, Willie Duke. Amazon is opening a hair salon.
What? When is it? Never mind.
Oh.
Amazon is opening a hair salon in London. Its latest push from online to brick and mortar, and a move that allows it to collect more real-world consumer data in the meantime. The e-commerce giant is opening a new tech-heavy hair salon in partnership with a prominent UK stylist. The salon will include tablets at every chair, a screen to virtually try on hair colors, and a station to display information about different products when a customer physically points at them. The salon is only open to employees to start, a traditional Amazon strategy. So Amazon employees get to be the beta testers for it. And as I mentioned, Amazon very interested in your biometrics, whether it's scanning your hand, making you a custom T-shirt.
Yeah.
I don't know if were we talking about that previously? That's another area. They want all your dimensions.
Oh,
They want all of you.
I'm interested in that like aspect.
They'll do that for you right now. They'll make you the cheapest custom T-shirt you're going to find.
Wow.
Yep.
Tailored, you're saying?
Oh, beyond that. I mean, I'm talking 3D. They'll create a 3D scan of you. You will become a video game character.
Wow.
And then
avatar.
That's cool.
And then this is another stage where it's like people get to try on these looks. They get to figure this out. I mean, you can imagine eventually, I don't know, I don't know.
It would probably map out your whole body and then like you can customize what you're wearing, hair color.
Why are they interested in this? What do you think?
I put this in the same realm as biometrics, understanding the full picture on an individual customer. Because we already talked about this earlier. You're saying you got all these packages coming to your door. Willie Doo saying, I'm prime for life. They're just trying to fill in the data gaps. Like, what don't we have?
Right.
We got everything. We got your dog food. We got your toothpaste. we got your...
They got a robust profile.
What else we need? Okay, what are your dimensions? Okay, what else? What do you want your hair color to be? Okay, what else? What does your palm look like? What are you doing over when you physically go to grocery store? What are your hopes and dreams?
I mean, people's hair says a lot about who they are. It's one thing that you customize a lot.
It's an intimate. It's also an intimate, personal. Like how many people have or have had a chance to have that information to actually database that intel and do something with it. If they can better understand your routine, they can sell you hair. They can sell you hygiene products.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
They can target hygiene products.
They can hit you with like a subscription in the salon for the shampoo or whatever they're using that
there's,
you like.
There's also certain ways in which, I mean, in this again, you just adjust your mindset a little bit. You say, okay, if they're a personal information data collection company, personalized data collection company, then you have to have there's certain types of data collection that require a real world brick and mortar there are these experiences that people have in brick and mortar that there still isn't a virtual equivalent for.
Yeah, and the salon is definitely one of them, or the barber. Like I miss the barber too.
Since the COVID stuff, people all of a sudden started to appreciate the barbershop, the salon.
Yeah.
The salon more than the barbershop.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It's an intimate thing. You have your own barber,
There's no virtual equivalent right now.
Okay, but let me just say this though. This has a connotation to it. Like I think that even Amazon basics to me have kind of a connotation to it. They're not the most, they don't invoke a feeling of quality and reliability. So if like your wife or your girlfriend or whoever, your partner comes to you and is like, oh, I just got my haircut at the Amazon salon.
But if you look
what are you like, ooh, or are you like, huh?
But that's why they partnered with prominent stylists. Right. They do the X, they do the collab.
Right.
And then if you look at the products on the shelf, it's all high profile. Look at the ratings on the screen.
So they better be pumping out. Oh, I see.
You see, that's all third party products. But where are you going to get them from? Imagine how big is the business in the salon if a customer decides, here's a product I'm going to use on my hair.
Yeah.
Permanently. What is the lifetime business of that?
Oh man, dippity doo. You know what I'm saying? We're still talking
Doo-dah day.
We're still talking about it.
Doo-dah day. My oh my.
They should have called it Emma Salon.
Wow. That's a home run right there.
That reminds me of salami for some reason.
Delicious.
Emma salami.
Yeah.
I'll have an Emma salami sandwich.
I think that there's an opportunity for them in the sandwich game now too.
Yeah.
So who knows? It could just be completely experimental and eventually lead to nothing. Or it could be part of a much bigger strategy. It could be the type of thing where they only have to open 3 or 4 to feel like they got a big enough sample size to make some key decisions on the software side for their product. You don't know what it is they're trying to extract. There's always more to the story.
Yeah, anything scary. And a big swing and a bold move.
Netflix falls on slowing subscriber growth. They didn't hit their target. Big companies, shareholders, they put a guidance out there. They say, here's what to expect. Here's what we're hoping for in terms of performance. They missed it. And of course, at this time in the world, in the streaming world, if that happens, because people were already looking for chinks in the armor, they were already looking for, is Netflix going to be hurt by the Disneys, by the HBOs, by the Peacocks? I don't know how worried they were about that one.
Yeah.
They were like, you can have The Office.
Yeah. What do they got?
What do they got?
So investors, they're trying to predict the future, obviously. The stock goes down a little bit. And they're trying to see, okay, what is Netflix's role in the future? They kind of were on their own for a while in the space, and now it's a bit more crowded. Let me ask you guys, how important is Netflix in your life today versus 2 years ago? Or 2 or 3 years ago? Or maybe it has never been important. I don't know. You go ahead and let me know.
Less.
You guys are guys.
Yeah.
You guys are a couple of people.
Yeah.
A couple of guys in the world. It's valid.
I don't. Yeah. I watch Prime quite a bit.
Oh, yeah?
Okay.
I watch Prime
because you were talking about the Jeff thing from earlier. Big Jeff guy.
Yeah, I'm going to get the haircut, and I'm going to watch Prime, and I'm going to get
At the same time.
scan my palm. Yeah, it's the whole, you live your whole life. No, I've been watching The Expanse on Prime.
Okay.
And I use the Sportsnet app for the hockey. And, I don't Netflix that often now that you make me think about it. I can't remember the last thing I actually Netflixed.
This is valuable information
Good show
right here.
or what?
You know what? Yeah, if you can make it through the first season and the guy's stupid hat, ignore the hat, it gets way better. But it's good. It's bold. They do stuff in this show.
Oh, okay.
But I don't Netflix. I can't remember the last
series.
And I have a negative feeling about it, residual feeling about it, because I feel like every email I get from them every month is like, your rate's going up. And then I'm like, well, what am I?
Right.
Okay, what is your rate right now? Now, this is in Canadian dollars.
Yeah, I want to say that it's like above 15, north of 15.
Okay.
Yeah.
You noticed it.
Yeah.
You
enough,
noticed
yeah. Yeah, enough for me to think hard about it. I'm like,
Interesting. Okay, this is good information. Willie Do. I pass the microphone to you.
I never really cared too much about Netflix.
Easy.
That's bold.
They had okay shows, but I was never really into it. Also, my sister pays for Netflix, and I give her YouTube Premium. So we kind of have a trade. So we pay for each other's subscriptions. But either way, it's not really a big deal for me if I lose it. Netflix.
Look at this information right here.
Yeah, I would go with you. I would say my YouTube Premium is more important to me than my Netflix.
Yes.
Well, yeah, I mean, we're all on YouTube.
Yeah.
So I think that there's a bit of a skew there, but and I don't know if we're representative of the general public. We should ask the general public watching this. I want to hear from you guys. Are you using Netflix as much? Are you enjoying it as much? What's the last big show you watched that's something that we need to watch? Movie, documentary, etc. I find myself talking about it less. In my house, there was a Disney Plus moment. The latest is an HBO.
Right, yeah.
The latest is a HBO Max moment.
Interesting.
And I don't know if it ever comes back around to the Netflix moment. It's possible, but it definitely is different than it was when opening Netflix used to be an automatic. In my house, I would say. It was a thing you would check on a fairly frequent basis to a thing that is... And again, we're just some people. We're just a couple of guys in the world. Try to get it together, try to put on a comfortable outfit in the morning so that it's not going to be tugging on you later.
Yeah, no chafing.
So you take it for what it is, but I will say I think Netflix fell to number 3 in my house.
Number 3, wow.
I think it goes right now. I think we check HBO Max if we want to watch something there because we've been into the series and I don't got to get into it. We actually were into something. Then they're going to check the Disney Plus, and then it's going to go down to the Netflix. So just take it for what it is. That's where it's at. And that's one example.
For you to say HBO Max and that you're into something is crazy for me. Because I know you, and that's rare.
Well, they're doing new releases, so you feel special. They make you feel special.
They make you feel special.
Like they just put like a warm blanket on you. Like new releases at home. It was always like a weird dream when you were a child.
Oh, yeah.
To have the movie theater movie at your house at the same time.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
And so the fact they were able to cut this deal is meaningful. But again, That's just, I'm not telling you to, this is not financial advice. I'm not telling you to sell your Netflix stock, all right? Netflix is doing things and they're still pumping numbers, even if they missed whatever their guidance happens to be. Netflix is going to be here. It's not only going to be one player in this space. I don't believe it for a second.
Yeah.
And and I believe Netflix with the user base is like one hit meme away from going right back.
Yeah.
If they can just hit another meme, like when they had at the beginning of COVID, when they had the tiger thing, my whole Twitter feed was about this tiger.
Yeah, you're right.
The tiger.
So we'll have to wait and see. But that was a nice little, that was a round table. It was a nice little round table. I'm a big fan of round tables, by the way. I'm talking about actual physical round tables. It creates a different environment.
Yes.
Rectangle.
Question.
I don't have to get into it.
Yeah, I hear you.
Discord is not going to do the Microsoft deal. Was it ever a deal? Was it really going to happen? Were they having conversations, or was Discord putting his name out there, flaunting?
I'm kind of happy about this when I read this title.
You like Discord on its own?
I use Discord quite often. We were talking about before. It's got a weird premium service that is not really, they could tighten the screws on that a bit. But I'm happy that they're going to stay independent.
It looks like it. They may very well do their very own IPO by the looks of it. They're not putting this thing off the table completely, but they feel strongly enough to come out publicly to the Wall Street Journal original report and say that the conversation is over for now. I guess it's always on the table if the right offer comes along. The problem for Discord is they have a boatload of users, 140 million monthly users. Monthly users, 140 million.
That's a lot.
And they were able to turn that into 130 million in revenue, but they still weren't able to be profitable.
Yikes.
So the question is how, at some point you got to become profitable. I don't know when, but at some point. And so you turn, you can understand these discussions now. You turn to a Microsoft and you say, okay, we need some help over here. We got this tremendous user base. We're a product that people love to use, but we haven't exactly pulled the trigger on the full monetization thing.
Right.
And this comes into the question of, okay, you like to use Discord, but how much?
Yeah. Would you pay for Discord?
Well, yeah, I wanted to when we were doing the whole stay-at-home thing. I use it a lot to game with like a couple communities that I play video games with, and I was like, let me do something and boost the ability so we can stream together, or we can have this perk or that perk, and it actually just made no sense for me to do it. I use it mainly on one room, and I was like, let me just buy the room the ability to stream full HD. 60 frames per second, but you can't do it. You got to buy a personal pack and then use it to boost. You get 2 boosts for whatever rooms. It's just very unintuitive, and I just ended up not doing it because it didn't make any sense. But I would, yeah. I think it's a great product. It lets me casually stay in touch with a lot of people.
How can Discord make money from you? What would you be willing to pay for as far as features are concerned?
Yeah, so my use case isn't the same use case as everyone, because a lot of other people have a personal account and they may hop into Dave 2D's Discord room. I know he's got one. Talked to him about it before, and then hop into Willie Doo's Discord room and then go play games in some other room. So to boost your own personal account does make sense. But what I would like to do is just buy a perk or 2 for a specific room, like a specific channel that I'm a part of, or maybe get some emotes in that channel. Maybe donate to this channel.
This sounds almost like Twitch-like.
That's the direction I think they need to go. Yeah,
interesting.
More like a private Twitch almost.
So anyway, the speculation, some people speculate that part of this was getting the name out there in preparation for some kind of IPO, to just be like, hey, think about. It's generated quite a bit of press.
Yeah,
people saw the valuation valued at $10 billion. They said, "What's this Discord? Let me check this out." Kind of been a pretty healthy advertising campaign. So maybe the intent was always to stay independent, but just to put it out there.
Oh, that's interesting.
But that's just speculation.
Let me ask you this. What was the last thing that Microsoft really took and not to insult Microsoft, but what was the last thing that they really...
Go ahead and insult Microsoft, because that's obviously what you're about to do.
What was the last thing that they hit a home run with? What was the last product they took and really popped? Like we all know what happened to Mixer. Like what was the last thing that they really had a pop with?
They bought? Yeah,
well,
that's
my
a good.
worry is that Microsoft takes Discord and then it's
It's possible.
what did they buy Zoom?
They said
The last thing I can
like
think of.
the one of the more recent acquisitions was the game company ZeniMax with Bethesda,
Right.
and they claim that they're not going to mess with it. Like it's going to run on its own.
Mm-hmm.
They're only going to improve things.
But funny how they had to say that. That was like the first thing they said after they bought it.
Well, because I think it's not even a Microsoft exclusive issue. It's when a giant company comes along and acquires a smaller one.
Yeah.
You
yeah.
you
And
question.
a beloved one too. Yeah.
Giant list of acquisitions here.
Yeah. So what did they?
It's crazy.
Can we find one
It's,
that's like
the problem is a lot of it has
slang?
been enterprise stuff that we may not
Yes, you are right.
we may not be intimately connected to.
Yeah.
As you can see, I mean, obviously there was the most recent acquisition, which was the speech software, Nuance. They did Siri and they did the Dragon software. That was the latest one.
Oh, okay.
They almost exclusively target healthcare. So again, very enterprise.
Right. Yeah, that's up Microsoft's alley, I guess.
But they like Xbox. I have to believe there's some sort of Xbox integration opportunity.
Oh yeah.
They like Xbox, and
Right.
they bought a game company. So I'm like, maybe these are ways to enhance Xbox's set of services, because Discord is obviously primarily
Yeah.
popular amongst the gaming
Yeah,
crowd.
you see that on headphones all the time, right? Discord certified
Yeah.
headphones. Yeah, that's an interesting take. I didn't think about that angle.
Obviously, you guys have seen this Dogecoin stuff. Dogecoin is banana town. So I don't know. This is the hottest thing in crypto, and so we actually have a couple of different things to say about that. I don't know. Is it still hanging? Yeah, it's still 30 cents, 31 cents. Doge. Look at the volume. Look at the 24-hour volume. That's the part that blows my mind. Just the action. It's just out of control, the action. I mean, that's down. That 24-hour volume is down 50%.
It's because of 420.
Can you do me a favor and just highlight that volume in the past 24 hours? Just highlight that number. There you go. I just want to make sure people see how many commas are in there.
Wait, so can you explain this number to me? This is the amount of that it's grown in US dollars in 24 hours?
No, it's how much has traded hands in the last 24 hours in USD.
I see.
USD equivalent, not Doge specifically.
Okay.
So this is down 50% from the previous 24-hour period. I've been watching that number. I'm like, okay, how much Doge is actually moving around? And that's in USD.
That's a fair bit of Doge.
It's a fair bit of Doge, because I was looking on the various exchanges to see where it lived in terms of action next to the bigger cryptos that are out there.
Yeah.
And in USD, it was beating many of the established coins that are you would expect to be at the top of these lists. So it's a real thing.
It's in the mix.
From a hype perspective, from a volume human interest perspective, it's actually it's had enough influencer push this thing.
Yeah.
That it's in the general public's
Elon
surroundings. It's a piece of culture now. And it's gonna move around, but it's a piece of culture. There's been enough content created and memes, and I mean, the volume alone kind of showcases how much activity. You want to say something?
Well, can I just take can I take it to a little bit? Maybe it's a bit controversial, but when we talk about Doge specifically, because people who are like about Doge are like really, really about Doge, and it kind of reminds me about this. Remember back in the day when Tati was going against
James Charles.
It kind of reminds me of that whole losing subscribers, gaining subscribers thing.
Oh, playing the game, watching the fun, participating.
Yes, the fandom and the feverishness with which people are like pro Doge or anti Doge.
The gamification. I pull a trigger. I watch a line. I track a line.
Yeah.
I'm at home. I have time to look at lines.
Mm-hmm. Are you?
Leave me alone. It's my line time.
I'm looking at lines.
I mean, how many people are?
It's so fun.
How many people are watching graphs these days, and they're looking for fun graphs? And what's a fun graph? I mean, I don't have to tell you what. I mean, does that look like a fun graph to you?
That looks like a roller coaster to me.
Anyway, so Newegg, that's where I was going with this. Newegg decided to, I guess, get out in front. I mean, we had a similar conversation about GameStop potentially embracing crypto, and I was saying this is one way to sort of memify your company, is just attach yourself to these. That's what Mark Cuban did. He said the Dallas Mavericks are going to be the #1 Dogecoin retailer. And he just made all the merch or everything in the building, facility. I don't remember exactly, but they traded in a bunch of Doge because they're like, we'll accept it. And the press is worth it. And
that's crazy.
And so now you have Newegg jumping in there and in my opinion, beating companies like GameStop to the punch. Now it's one of these, I guess, crypto cred things. So it's like, yeah, Newegg represents me because they carry my coin.
Right. You're right.
It's really weird, the way these connections are being made. I can't imagine the accounting involved in accepting it. Newegg is shoppers can now pay with Doge. That's the headline. Mm-hmm. I can't imagine the accounting involved and the with the volatility, the expected volatility of this. They will have to have people on staff that are essentially traders, crypto traders, currency traders, maybe they already do, that are capable of making moves quickly in order to compensate for fluctuations as business takes place throughout the day.
Wow. Yeah. I guess they have to have a crypto department now.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Does every company have a crypto department?
Well, it's going to start here with the game related. By the way, I'll tell you how it works. It's going to be using BitPay. When completing an order on Newegg.com, customers who want to pay with Dogecoin simply click edit in the payment section on the checkout page. Then select BitPay. Customers can then complete their transactions using Dogecoin held in their digital wallet. So whatever you have on your BitPay, you can use. It's just that Doge is one of those selections. And I suppose what happens here, I actually have to probably go back and correct myself because it looks to me, I'm guessing that BitPay is going to run the conversion at the current rate and actually only send. So that they'll be the exchange, and Newegg will get the USD. But by accepting BitPay, and there's so many new businesses that have to emerge in order to deal with this on the transaction side. But anyway, nonetheless, you will be able to execute your GPU purchase if you can find one. If you're in the Newegg raffle, you get the GPU. You get to do the full meme town. You get to get the 30 series GPU using your Doge on Newegg in the raffle. You get to
brag.
That's a
huge brag.
Full circle. Yeah. Full meme town.
What a future that we live in. It's insane.
Now, Dogecoin is actually not as hot as it was prior to us filming this. It retreated a little bit, but at its peak, it was actually bigger than Ford Motor Company in terms of market cap. This, again, comes back to my...
Is that, I think, 41 cents?
41 cents would likely do it.
That is insane.
Are you able to... market cap. Switch your chart to market cap from price. There you go. So look at the peak market cap. 53 billion.
Can you explain
53 billion?
How it was bigger than Ford? Like it just had more money than Ford had? Invested in it?
Invested in it, yes. So the outstanding... just more value.
That is crazy.
Existing. More value existing in Dogecoin. You can't call them shares, but if we're comparing it to a stock.
Sure, yeah.
More value existing in Doge than in shares of Ford Motor Company.
That is crazy. For 24 hours, and then it's
no, it's not. It's actually only down by about 10 billion, so it's still in the same range. The surge made it bigger than the market cap of Ford Motor Co. and Kraft Heinz company, and nearly equal to Twitter. So it did for a moment surpass for, but like again, this is the thing about it. It feels like a meme. You see the pictures.
Wow.
You see the dog, and it all feels like a joke, but then you see the dollars and cents, and you recognize the scale of it, and it's a bit of a. It's like, okay, that's a real thing.
People were just hoping for $1. When it reaches $1, that's like a huge celebration. So
yeah.
Well, I mean, $1 double what we just said. That's a $100 billion market cap. That's the same size as the Coinbase IPO on day one. So Doge would be as big as you see how it's really weird. The whole thing is very weird. But
so funky.
But I mean, you've heard Elon specifically talk about this, how the crypto that started as a joke or almost making fun of crypto becomes the crypto of choice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like that's the internet. That's the way.
It reminds me of when people used to have like a little poll on their website, like name our mascot, and then someone would come in with a stupid throwaway answer, and that obviously wins. This is like that option, right? If you're looking at the list of cryptos, this is that.
The other ones
option.
are just way too buttoned up.
Yeah.
You need something loose.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if they can hang on, or if people grow up and put a crypto suit on. But if they don't,
the reflection.
If they don't, they may want to take a peek at this new one, which is even hotter than Doge. This is PooCoin.
Nice.
PooCoin skyrockets 100% in beyond Dogecoin rally.
What did Will say the other day? I gotta give me one of them.
Yeah, I could get me one of them. No, I might. I might get me one of them.
I might get me one of these poo.
Yeah, that's what Will's been saying around here. Every time he sees something, I'll just be like looking at something. I'll be like, oh, this thing's pretty good. He's like, I might get me one of them.
A couple of these.
Like, Will, you're creeping me out, man. He's like, I might get me one of them.
I have a microphone and a speaker. Right there.
So is this like the Dogecoin of Dogecoins then?
Yeah, it just goes on and on forever. The PooCoin cryptocurrency hit an all-time high of $5.17.
$5? Jeez.
PooCoin traded 77.6% higher, according to CoinGecko data. The decentralized finance or DeFi token was launched on March 9th. They actually had a contest to come up with the logo. That's a friendly-looking poo.
Yeah.
That's their new official logo.
Cute poo.
The intraday gains in PooCoin far surpassed those of all major cryptocurrencies. Or at least the big ones, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and even Doge. So listen, if you want to be on the cutting edge, Doge is old news.
Yeah.
And
lame.
What you really need to be into is the one of a kind PooCoin.
You gotta get into the poo.
Yeah, you don't listen. You best be diversifying that portfolio.
Definitely gotta get
Poo is a part of life, and so is PooCoin. That's the tagline. No, it's not.
On a couple of those.
Yeah, it's a joke. It's a joke about a joke about a joke, followed by a joke inside of another joke.
Very meta.
Oh man.
You guys know anything about ice cream at McDonald's?
Whoo, baby. Okay.
Oh.
Well, I'm gonna let you. I'm not gonna. I don't want to jump in here too quick.
Jump the gun? Well, no. I mean, I'm curious. I think there's a lot of preconceptions when it comes to McDonald's ice cream because this is another place where a meme exists, and this is older than Doge, that you would go to get ice cream and the machine would be broken.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's like super well known.
Classic move.
Or they just didn't even bother to boot it up. They're like, no, we're not doing ice creams right now.
Right.
So everyone knows this. Everyone has experienced this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, apparently, and this is a comprehensive article on Wired, by the way. Apparently, these ice cream machines are incredibly complex that are inside these McDonald's. And this one individual thinks that, again, this is allegedly and not exactly in these words, but essentially what the article breaks down is that this one individual believes that they are intentionally complex. And the reason is because they have this hidden menu system. And he believes the company that sells the maker to McDonald's is also involved in the maintenance and doesn't mind them breaking all that often.
Okay.
We're just going McDonald's ice cream machine, full conspiracy status over here.
All right.
Well, does that include McFlurries too?
McFlurries, cones, and milkshakes.
Oh.
The McFlurry has a separate machine because you get the soft serve out of the ice cream maker, and then you put it on the McFlurry mixer.
Right.
Which mixes in the topping.
Mm-hmm. But you can't do it without the
No, you need the ice cream machine first. If if the ice cream machine is down, McFlurries are down, it's all down. Now, the reason, first of all, I just want to do a little bit more on the machine. The machine is $18,000 to the franchise owner.
18,018,000.
Yeah, or about 3 Doge. It is the Taylor C602, and it's about 16 button presses to unlock the menu.
Wow.
It has everything from the viscosity setting for the milk and sugar ingredients to the temperature of the glycol flowing through the heating element. It also has a secret undisclosed menu, which no one at McDonald's can unlock.
What?
What is special about this $18,000 machine is that it's fast when it is working. When it's working, it's doing 2 at once, which is very unusual, as you can see.
Is this the machine?
No, that's not it, because it's made by Thompson, right?
Thompson?
Or Taylor. Taylor C602. My bad. Taylor C602. You can just type that up there.
This has got to be one hell of a machine.
Taylor C602.
So it sounds like the menu system is really comprehensive.
Oh, wow. Machine. There it is. Ice cream machine right there. Did you click on that? Yep, that's it right there.
I mean, if you're paying $18,000 for ice cream machine, you want those menu settings, don't you? I mean, I would.
Well, and this is where the whole thing goes wild, because it comes into the whole right to repair thing.
Oh, okay.
Which is, there's a huge thing going on with Louis Rossmann, the YouTuber, and Apple products.
Mm-hmm. I've heard about that.
Okay. And it actually reaches into all kinds of markets, including ice cream machines. What you're saying makes sense. Yeah, you would want to know about your $18,000 machine.
Yeah.
So that if anything goes wrong, you're not getting swindled. You could be like, oh, I'm getting charged whatever for this part or for this software programming or modification of some kind. Your awareness is worth money. Right. The less you know in this area, the more you're willing to pay the invoice.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so that's where they're going, is for you to become part of the right to repair conversation.
So his case against Apple touches this as well, this ice cream machine from McDonald's?
No, but it's just right to repair in general. Yeah, I don't know if he's focused. I don't know if McDonald's ever came up, but it just kind of it fits.
Yeah.
The same type of thing. These Taylor digital ice cream machines, there's more than 13,000 of them in the U.S. That's huge at $18,000 a piece.
Yeah, that's a lot of dough.
Now, again, going into what makes them special, they... let me see how quickly I found the specification in here about how fast, and this is obviously why you would purchase one of these. When the hundreds of highly engineered components in Taylor's C602 are working in concert, the machine's performance is a smooth display of efficiency and power. It takes in liquid ingredients through a hopper and then freezes them to a spinning barrel, pulling tiny sheets of frozen mixture off the surface of the barrel's cold metal with scraper blades, mixing it repeatedly, creating the smallest possible ice crystals. The ice cream machine from Taylor, this one, invented for McDonald's, has 2 hoppers, 2 barrels working independently to produce milkshakes and soft serve simultaneously. You can sell 10 ice cream cones a minute during peak sales periods.
What?
That's impressive.
Which is impossible with other machines.
I couldn't even physically do that.
However, when you scroll down, Willie D, on the main article, what you're going to see is the nightmare fest that is all the parts of this machine. Now, unlike some other machines which require frequent cleaning, apparently this one does not. Apparently this one is capable of superheating itself in order to clean the interior so that it's not such a nightmare each and every day, but it has a comprehensive cleaning that's necessary once a week. Those components in that picture right there have to be disassembled, cleaned, and lubricated every 2 weeks. If a single one of those pieces is missing, the machine can fail.
Oh, man. Look at some of those tiny little washers, too.
Yeah.
Once every 2 weeks.
Who's the guy in the McDonald's that gets that responsibility?
I presume somebody's coming in to do it as part of a service contract.
Oh, I see.
So anyway, this guy creates a device that attaches inside the Taylor machine. He's a third-party guy, and he creates a device by the name of...
Oh my God, this article is...
It's huge.
Very comprehensive.
He creates a device by the name of Kitch, okay? This thing attaches to the machine and attempts to make sense of those hidden menus and diagnose and give a little bit of power back to the franchisee. That's the size of the device right there.
Oh, wow. Okay.
They can
it's a little component.
monitor what's going on and look at it on their smartphone. He creates this device, sells it to franchisees. Taylor, the company that makes the ice cream machine, is like, yeah, no.
Oh,
They're like, you're breaking the agreement by modifying the machine.
right.
Type of thing.
Right.
And so then they go out and manufacture their own monitoring system. And obviously now you have conflict.
Is that thing $18,000 as well?
Absolutely not. It's built around a Raspberry Pi. So it's not very much.
That's so cool.
It intercepts data and relays it over Wi-Fi to an app or web interface. And obviously there was a market for it because you had 13,000 different ice cream machines, or at least 13,000 locations, McDonald's locations in the US. There's more than that globally.
And good on this guy, but that's unfortunate that now he's in a war with.
Well, he needs the right to repair stuff.
I got you.
Because then it's up to you what you do with your device after you bought it.
Right. And he's probably going to sell his for a lot less than Taylor is going to sell theirs for.
His little device?
Yeah.
But again, you're not going to get any support on the device if something breaks in warranty, or they're going to be like, you modified it.
Right.
So you have to have the ability. So it's a squirrely and complicated situation, comprehensive article. But if you're ever wondering, if you've experienced this thing of the ice cream machine being down at your local McDonald's, one of those little tiny pieces is likely to blame. And it was likely not put back together properly, given one of its every 2 week teardowns.
Wow.
And it's a much more complicated machine than you may have imagined when you're sitting in the drive-thru going, you guys can't figure out ice cream when you really need an ice cream. So as usual, there's more to the story. Go get an ice cream.